Long before the arrival of Europeans, the land we now call New York was home to a diverse tapestry of indigenous peoples. These were not merely scattered tribes, but sophisticated societies with rich cultures, complex social structures, and a deep connection to the land. Among the most prominent were the Iroquoian-speaking peoples, including the powerful Iroquois Confederacy to the north and west. This League of Nations, bound by a shared language and a commitment to peace and mutual defense, left an indelible mark on the region. The Iroquois Confederacy, often referred to as the Five Nations, consisted of the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca nations. They lived in longhouses, cultivated crops like corn, beans, and squash, and possessed a sophisticated system of governance based on consensus and respect for elders. Their influence extended far beyond their immediate territory, shaping the political landscape and influencing the lives of other Native American groups. To the south and east, Algonquin-speaking tribes, such as the Lenape and the Mohican, thrived along the coastal areas and river valleys. Their lives were intricately intertwined with the rhythms of nature, relying on fishing, hunting, and gathering for sustenance. They too had their own distinct languages, customs, and beliefs, contributing to the rich cultural mosaic of the region. These indigenous communities were not frozen in time, but adapted to changing circumstances, traded with one another, and engaged in diplomacy and conflict, forging a complex web of relationships that shaped the destiny of the land for centuries. The legacy of New York's indigenous peoples continues to resonate to this day. Their contributions to agriculture, governance, and art have enriched the cultural tapestry of the state. Their deep respect for the natural world serves as a reminder of the importance of environmental stewardship. As we delve into the history of New York, it is crucial to acknowledge and honor the enduring legacy of the first New Yorkers, those who called this land home long before the arrival of European explorers. The dawn of the 16th century marked a turning point in the history of New York, as intrepid European explorers, driven by a thirst for knowledge, wealth, and new trade routes, began to chart the Atlantic coast of North America. In 1524, Giovanni da Verrazzano, an Italian explorer sailing under the French flag, became the first European to lay eyes on what is now New York Harbour. His voyage, though brief, provided the first glimpses of this land to the European world, sparking curiosity and setting the stage for further exploration. Following in Verrazzano's wake came Jacques Cartier, another French explorer, who ventured into the region in 1535, exploring the St. Lawrence River and solidifying French claims to the vast territory they called New France. However, it would be several decades before Europeans established a permanent presence in the region. The lure of the Orient, with its promise of spices and riches, continued to dominate European ambitions, relegating North America to the periphery of their attention. It was not until the early 17th century that the course of New York's history would be irrevocably altered by the arrival of Henry Hudson, an English navigator in the employ of the Dutch East India Company. In 1609, while searching for a northwest passage to Asia, Hudson sailed his ship, the Half Moon, up the river that would later bear his name. His explorations unveiled a fertile valley teeming with wildlife and inhabited by indigenous peoples eager to trade. Hudson's reports of abundant fur-bearing animals, particularly beaver, ignited the interest of European merchants eager to capitalize on the lucrative fur trade. The Dutch, with their growing commercial prowess, were quick to seize the opportunity, laying the groundwork for the establishment of a Dutch colony in the heart of what would become New York. The encounter between Hudson and the native inhabitants of Manhattan Island, though seemingly insignificant at the time, would have far-reaching consequences, marking the beginning of a new era in the history of New York. The Dutch wasted no time in capitalizing on the commercial potential of the land Henry Hudson had revealed. In 1614, they established Fort Nassau, a modest trading post located near present-day Albany, as a base for their burgeoning fur trade with the local Native Americans. This marked the first permanent European settlement in the region that would become New York, a testament to the Dutch spirit of enterprise and their ambition to establish a foothold in the New World. Driven by the desire to secure their hold on the lucrative fur trade and establish a permanent colony, The Dutch West India Company, a powerful trading company chartered by the Dutch government, took control of the region in 1621. Recognizing the strategic importance of Manhattan Island, situated at the mouth of the Hudson River, they founded New Amsterdam in 1624. This new settlement, initially a humble village of a few dozen souls, was destined to become the bustling metropolis we know today as New York City. Life in early New Amsterdam was a challenging yet exhilarating experience. The Dutch settlers, hailing from a small country on the North Sea, found themselves in a vast and unfamiliar land, surrounded by dense forests, teeming waterways, and native peoples with their own distinct cultures and customs. Despite the hardships, they persevered, building homes, establishing farms, and cultivating relationships with the indigenous tribes, particularly the Lenape, who controlled access to the fur trade. Under the leadership of directors general like Peter Minuit and Willem Kieft, New Amsterdam grew steadily, attracting settlers not only from the Netherlands but also from other parts of Europe. Drawn by the promise of religious freedom and economic opportunity, the colony embraced a spirit of tolerance and diversity, welcoming people of various faiths and ethnicities, a characteristic that would later become a defining feature of New York City. The seeds of a vibrant, multicultural society were sown in these early years, laying the foundation for the city's future as a global melting pot. During the 18th century, immigration to the American colonies surged. People from various parts of Europe sought new opportunities and a fresh start. This influx of settlers led to significant expansion and development in the colonies. New towns and cities sprang up and the population grew rapidly. As the colonies expanded westward, they encountered diverse indigenous cultures and landscapes. This period of growth and change laid the foundation for the future United States. In the late 18th century, New York became a pivotal battleground in the fight for independence. The city witnessed significant events from the drafting of the Declaration of Independence to the fierce battles that ensued. The spirit of resilience and determination was palpable as New Yorkers joined forces with the Continental Army, striving for freedom and the birth of a new nation. As the dust settled from the Revolutionary War, New York emerged as a crucial player in the early republic. The city became the first capital of the United States, hosting the inauguration of George Washington as the first president. It was a period of rapid growth and transformation, with New York setting the stage for its future as a financial and cultural hub. The 19th century brought profound changes to New York, marked by the construction of the Erie Canal, which revolutionized trade and transportation. The city also became a center for the abolitionist movement, with activists tirelessly working to end slavery. During the Civil War, New York played a complex role, balancing economic interests with the moral imperative to support the Union cause. The 20th century saw New York evolve into a global metropolis, a beacon of innovation, diversity, and resilience. From the Roaring Twenties to the challenges of the Great Depression, through the Civil Rights Movement and into the digital age, New York has continually reinvented itself. Today it stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of its people and their capacity to shape the future.